It is 5:35 in the morning, but the rain still makes it feel like night. You sit in the truck cabin with one hand on the door handle, and instead of opening it, you press your thumb into the cracked edge of the steering wheel. Just once. Then again. The construction site has gone quiet, but your ears still carry the sound of machines. Why does a small pause like that feel heavier than the whole day? What may be showing up is the quiet weight of self-questioning, the kind that comes after the noise is gone and there is no one left to answer to. This is a look at why that silence can feel like a confession booth, and why the smallest delay can sometimes hold a feeling too large to say out loud. Truck cabin silence is that strange moment when the work is done, the road is still wet, and your own thoughts feel closer than any voice around you. It is not always sadness. It is not always regret. Often, it is a private review of the day, the kind that begins before you even realize you are doing it. You might still smell iron from the tools, cement dust from the site, and damp sweat in the collar of your shirt. Your palms may sting from gripping, lifting, carrying, turning, holding on longer than anyone noticed. Your back feels full, almost like the whole day climbed into it and stayed there. And then the cabin gets quiet. That is when the mind starts asking questions the body was too busy to hear earlier. Did I say too little? Did I sound rough? Did I let someone down? Did I go too far? Did I stay quiet when I could have spoken? One common reason is that hard work often leaves no room for feeling until the very end. During the shift, there is always a next thing. Back up the truck. Check the mirror. Move the load. Watch the rain. Listen for the foreman. Stay alert because one careless second can cost more than pride. So the day keeps you moving, and movement becomes a kind of cover. Only when the engine is off and the sight is still does the feeling finally catch up, like someone walking toward you through the dark. There's also a quieter reason. The cabin is one of the few places where nobody is asking you to perform. Outside the truck, you may be the driver, the worker, the reliable one, the person who does not make a scene. Maybe people count on you to show up, take the route, handle the load, keep your face steady even when your shirt sticks cold to your back. In the cabin, there is no audience. No one sees the way your fingers hesitate over the handle. That privacy can feel safe, but it can also feel exposing, because there is finally nowhere to place the feeling except inside yourself. For a lot of people, it starts when responsibility becomes a language they speak better than honesty. You learn how to say, "I'm fine," because the day moves faster when no one asks more. You learn how to joke at the right time, not at the right time, keep the radio low, keep the schedule moving. But inside, something may be gathering. Not a dramatic story. Just small things. A tone from someone at the site. A call you did not return. A thought about money. A quiet wish that someone would ask the question in a way that made it easier to answer. That is the strange part. The silence is not empty. It is crowded. It has the rain ticking against the roof. It has the last beep of a reversing machine still floating somewhere in your ears. It has the smell of metal and wet dust. It has the weight of a conversation you almost had, and the words you swallowed because there was concrete to pour, traffic to beat, another person nearby, or no good place to begin. So you delay. You do not open the door yet. You do not start the drive yet. You wipe the inside of the windshield even though it is already clear. You adjust the vent. You check the receipt on the dashboard. You rub your palm across your work pants, feeling the sting in your skin like proof that the day happened. The action is small. The feeling behind it is not. It is around 5:35, rain sliding down the side window, the job site finally asleep behind the fence. You are parked near the edge of the lot, the headlights off, the cabin lit only by the faint dashboard glow. You reach for the door, but your hand stops there, resting on the handle like it forgot its own plan. You look at your knuckles, rough and pale from the cold, and suddenly the question arrives, why did that one comment bother me so much? Maybe earlier someone laughed when you asked where to drop the load. Maybe it was nothing. Maybe they were tired too. But in the quiet, the moment comes back sharper than it was. Your chest feels tight, not from danger, just from being alone with it. If you've been there, you're not strange. You might know someone who lives like this. This is what inner self-questioning can look like when it waits until the world gets quiet enough to hear it. And maybe the part that hurts most is that nothing big happened. No one yelled. No one stormed away. No one said a line that would make the story easy to explain. That can make it harder, because small hurts often arrive without proof. They leave you wondering if the feeling is real, or if you are making too much of something that everyone else forgot before lunch. But a feeling does not grow louder only because the event was large. Sometimes it grows louder because you had no space for it when it arrived. You were steering through rain. You were checking blind spots. You were watching men in reflective vests cross behind the truck. You were thinking about the next stop, the next hour, the next bill, the person waiting at home, or the empty room waiting at home. The mind files the feeling away for later. Later is the cabin. Later is the rain. Later is your thumb pressing into the cracked steering wheel because opening the door means returning to the rest of your life. A small way to meet that moment is to let the pause be honest without turning it into a verdict. Maybe you sit there for 10 breaths and name only what is true. The rain is loud, my hands hurt, that comment stayed with me. Nothing more. No trial. No big speech inside your head. Just 3 plain facts. This can help because the mind often gets lost when everything becomes one heavy cloud. A few real details can separate the day from the feeling. Another small way is to leave a simple marker before moving on. Maybe it is tapping the steering wheel once and saying quietly, "That was a long day." Maybe it is writing one line on the back of a receipt. The silence hit hard after the site went quiet. Maybe it is sending no message yet, making no decision yet, explaining nothing yet. Just giving the feeling a place to land, so it does not follow you into every room as unnamed weight. And there is something else here that is easy to miss. A cabin can feel like a confession booth because it holds both versions of you. The one who kept going, and the one who is tired of keeping going. The one who knows the route, and the one who does not know how to say what the day did to him. The one who can reverse a heavy truck through mud and rain, and the one who still replays a sentence from a tired coworker because, for some reason, it found an old soft place. This is for people who look steady from the outside, but sit in parked places a little longer than they can explain. There may be nothing wrong with that pause. It may be the first quiet moment all day where the truth has enough room to breathe. So when the truck cabin goes silent and the rain keeps talking for you, maybe the confession is not that you failed, or that you are weak, or that you are falling apart. Maybe the confession is simpler. You carried more than the load today. And for one quiet minute, you finally felt its weight.